Hey there, Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here with Supersize Your Business. Let's talk about the art of building a sustainable business, we want a successful business, a successful, sustainable business to supersize and grow. We've talked about sustainability with respect to a couple of different industries, and today I just kind of want to make it more general. Sustainability, I always think it's doing the right thing for your business, for the world, to make the world a better place, to do what's right. But I'm not sure people ascribe to those principles necessarily in most situations these days. I don't know. The world is a very interesting and confusing place sometimes. Not confusing to me. I just do my own thing. But I think that there are mixed messages all over the place from industries, from governments, from experts around the world. And we need to sift and choose what is right for us as we're building and growing and supersizing our business. So let's talk about some of the strategies we want to use to make our business last for the long term, because we want to supersize and grow it. Maybe you want to build your business and sell it. Maybe you want to build your business to create a legacy. Maybe you just want to build your business to make the world a better place and create a better future for the next generations. Whatever drives you will become part of how into sustainability you are or not. There's a lot of flash in the pan, overnight success, not really overnight successes, by the way. I have yet to meet a true overnight success. Everybody I know has taken at least 20 years to become that overnight success. And they've tried and done different things and usually failed more than they've succeeded, because you can fail a whole bunch of times and you only need one time to be successful to take off and supersize. At least that's been my experience. So sustainability, I like to think of it in terms of the 3 P's: people, planet, and profit, right? We have to think of those 3 areas as we're building and growing and supersizing our business if we want to create something that lasts, if we want to be sustainable, if we want to make the world a better place. We have to look at a system that embraces a triple bottom line, not just a single bottom line. A lot of businesses, and for a lot of decades, if not centuries, the focus has been on profitability, success, accumulating wealth for your business or yourself. And it hasn't necessarily been, and often that was at the expense of other people. I mean, if we look at history, we see this over and over again. It's at the expense of the planet. It's at the expense of other people. Won't even get into unethical business practices. Profit was number one. And I think that we as leaders can choose to say, we want to make money, we want to be successful, we want to grow and supersize, but we want to do it in a way that honors people and our planet. How do we go about this? Number one, start by building and choosing a sustainable business model. You know, a sustainable business model will include ethical standards, ethical servicing, ethical sourcing, and supply chain. It will contain elements of morals, values, and ethics and ethical practices for all areas and aspects of our business throughout our business. And we'll build those in as we're growing and building our business. We'll choose suppliers. We'll choose vendors that have good practices, in our opinion, or that match our core values. We'll do green marketing, and we'll engage our consumers. Guess what? I say this all the time. People will tell you everything you need to know if you just listen to them, get the feedback, listen to them, find out what's important and what's right to them. And we choose our audiences, we choose our customers. It doesn't always feel that way, but in our experience as we're growing up and building our business, but we actually do. We get to choose the people that we want to work with. So we want to choose people that also find the things that are important to us important to them. Innovation and technology is changing all the time. It's mind-boggling to me, but there are renewable sources of energy becoming more and more available. Thank you, to governments and the world for actually pumping tons of money and resources into the study of different renewable sources of energy. And sometimes it's a policy decision where they say, you will be carbon neutral, you will have energy efficient, non-gas guzzling vehicles, etc. Then there's been this digital transformation. The digital economy uses far less resources, and I could be wrong by saying this if you're looking at every resource that's included, but then traditional industrial age businesses in the way they were run. Sustainable agriculture and food production, something I'm fascinated by, things like hydroponic farming and things like that. I think that we have underutilized resources, at least here in the United States, that are incredible, and they just need to be transitioned to an alternate use, to a different use than they were traditionally. I was talking to my son the other day about all of we live by Minneapolis, the closest we live in a suburb in Wisconsin, but the closest big city to us is Minneapolis, Minnesota. And there are literally millions and millions of vacant square footage buildings in downtown Minneapolis because of all the nonsense that's happened in Minnesota over the last few years, or actually last several years. And people moved out of those big buildings en masse. You know, the pandemic contributed to that. The violence surrounding George Floyd contributed to that. The political unrest in the U.S. has contributed to that. And people just aren't wanting to go and work in the city anymore. So there's millions and millions of square feet that need to be used in some other way that makes the world a better place, in my humble opinion. But digital transformation has made it possible for people to work from home, which I contend, and you can disagree, is more economical in many situations. Not in all. Come on, people, we still need face-to-face in order to collaborate and do certain things in business and to form partnerships and relationships. But there are many situations where the roles can easily be done from home. And that's a whole topic for another day, is how do you make sure that you're managing your home teams and your multi-location teams. I've worked in corporate America with multi-location teams for my entire career. So people make it seem like it's this horrible, unmanageable challenge, but it actually isn't. It boils down to leadership. We want to build a culture of sustainability, which, guess what? Starts with leadership and vision. It requires employee engagement and education, right? Why is it important to us as a business? Why do we want to do it? What is your part? What part do you play in contributing to that? My career in corporate America was primarily in the quality function. And that meant, from my opinion, that I got to stick my nose in everybody's business, their processes, their procedures, their systems, their automations, how they communicated with one another. And that gave me a bigger picture perspective on how things work and interact and how we can improve those interactions. And usually it's through communication and education. We want to have a philosophy and adoption of continuous improvement, lifelong learning and growing, lifelong customers, and accountability. Hey, we're all going to make mistakes, but we have to stand up and say, oh my God, I did that. Here's what I learned. Here's what I'm going to do next time. I mean, I don't think we fire people because they make a mistake, because guess what? We're human. We all make mistakes. It depends, of course, on the mistake. I will add that as a caveat. And we want to decide, and if we so choose, determine that we want to have a business that is committed to being a part of the global community and making the world a better place. Not everybody's going to choose that. If I'm a mom and pop business in a small town, I may not care if I have a global impact or not. But if I'm making my little corner of the world a better place, then that's how I contribute to the global and have a global impact. So that leads to the topics of corporate social responsibility. What should corporations do? Guess what? You get to decide what you choose to do, and maybe some government regulation will come down, or regulation in your industry or your part of the world, but you always get to choose if you're going to participate in that or not. And then we can look for global collaborations, ways to join forces with other people and other businesses that share similar goals and views that we do, to create brand new things that have never existed before, to help people and the planet so that we can all make a profit. All right, that's all I've got today. I think this is a fun topic. I think sustainability, I've mentioned before, growing up in manufacturing, continuous improvement and sustainability and efficiency and effectiveness and, reduction of wasting resources and things has just been a part of my psyche. So it's pretty easy for me to see how this could be implemented in any business if they so choose. All right, have an awesome day. I'll, of course, be with you tomorrow with another strategic way to supersize and grow your business. Have a great day. Hit me up if you have questions.